Before the break, we met Rachel Grimm, who wrote into the show seeking advice on how to repair her relationship with her mother. We are joined by her mother, Tonna Becker. Tonna, I'm really interested and excited to hear what your experience was, what you are going through.
Well, first of all, I love both my kids, so I love them very much. So I didn't never set out to hurt them or, anything like that. But it was just a really rough time. My son, I guess it was 2007, he was diagnosed with diabetes. And up until that point, I was pretty much able to control everything that happened to them. And I liked that, because I could keep them safe. And that happened. And then in 2008, we had a family business, and the recession kind of started tearing away at that. And I felt like I was losing control. And then my husband coming in telling me that we were going to lose our home. So I was like, I just had it in my head that I need a break. So I just was like, I've had enough. I need to, they're old enough and they'll be fine with their dad because he's a good person. So I packed my stuff and I moved out.
And your daughter is 18.
Yes.
But your son is 15.
Yes.
When you leave, did you tell them you were leaving?
They knew that I was leaving because they saw everything being packed up, because I took time to pack things because I felt guilty, but I needed it. So when I was getting things together and packing things up, I was only taking what I absolutely needed because I didn't want to make it worse than what it was going to be.
This, I think, is something that is very important for me to ask and for you to hear. How did you feel when Tonna left?
I mean, it was obviously very hard and heartbreaking. I mean, my mom had always instilled in me such a level of confidence to be myself and to live the life I dream. And I felt like she was one of my biggest cheerleaders. And for her to leave in that time, that was where I was finally going after that thing, going to college and pursuing this dream that we had talked about so much. For her to be gone in that time was obviously hurtful and caused me to have a lot of resent for some time.
There was a really emotional moment where you showed up at the airport. Can you guys talk to each other about that?
Absolutely. Well, she was asking me earlier about when we would have started really talking and trying to work on a relationship. And I really look back to when I was in London studying abroad as that time. Just talked about, what life was like. What life was like for you back home and what life was like for me in England. And, I really treasured those emails and those moments. And so when you were there, when I got off the plane, and even though, you and my dad weren't together anymore, but you were both there to pick me up, sorry. To me, it was like a sign of moving forward, right? Of what it had the potential to be.
Yep.
I mean, Tonna, what are your expectations moving forward? And also, what are you able to manage so that Rachel can hear this and not expect highs where you might not be able to deliver? What is your vision moving forward?
I would just like to have total forgiveness.
Yeah.
And just for us to be able to build a relationship from here and try to get something back that we have. I mean, I know it's not ever going to be the same, but at the same time, you're older now too, and it will be different. But the forgiveness is what I'm looking for.
I'm just going to say something too. I don't know about any of you, but daughters to mothers, I think we have a predisposed expectation where we don't want you to be selfish, you know?
Yep. And I will tell you, I still am. I'm a very selfish person.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I think you need to hear that, and it's not what you want to hear, but I'm glad that is out.
I am a very selfish person when it comes to myself. I like what I like, when I like it, and it's just me. It's the way I am. But I'm learning. In the past few years, I'm really learning to work on that, to put others first. It's hard. It is hard.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Really, honestly, my mom was selfish too.
Yeah.
And it screwed me up.
Yeah.
But you know what? I carried that with me.
Yeah.
And I acted as a place from a wounded child.
Yes.
Who also felt like they had to be an adult too quickly. And I didn't understand the parent-child dynamic. This is a big thing in therapy. There's a reason they call it a parent-child dynamic.
Yeah.
And when that skew is off, it is confusing. And as selfish as my mom was, I have to give her a lot of room too, because I was not easy. Our life was set up for a crash and burn disaster. I was a child actor. I was going out. I was completely out of control. She actually had to put me in an institution, and she did not know how to control me anymore. Things were out of control. I got legally emancipated from her at 14. These were very painful things for both of us to go through. And I know that she has her side of the story, and she's not here to tell her perspective. But I know that she had a man who left before I was born. She had a past with her family. Her choices came from things that were real for her.
Right.
And as a woman, I could finally see and understand that.
Yeah.
And we've made peace. Yeah. And we now text and talk, and I can reach out to her. And I know this is morbid, but I'm so relieved that she's still here on this planet so that I have the chance to do this with her. Yes. And another thing I want to say is, as you're growing together in this new chapter, you guys have spent a lot of time apart. So if feelings start to flare and rise up, go to your corners, give each other some space, regulate. You guys have survived a lot of time apart. You don't need to be this right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can move forward allowing that time and space.
Yes.
It has been such a privilege to be a part of this conversation. And if you would like to continue it after the show, we actually have someone that we can set you up with.
Awesome.
Who's incredible and an actual trained professional, who I am not. I am just...
But you did amazing.
Yes,
this was
amazing.
So healing.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
She needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you to Rachel Grimm and Tonna Becker for sharing your story and being so vulnerable with me. I am with you. Please, let's keep in touch. Let's check in and keep this going.